This show is rated NFE, not for everyone. Viewer discretion is advised.
What's the word, squad, and welcome back to another episode of These Days in History. I definitely got some interesting topics that I came across today, and without further ado, let's get into it, man. So first and foremost, we got Misty Copeland. Yeah, squad, give it up for Misty Copeland. It looks like after a historical, illustrious, groundbreaking career, after 25 years of performing, looks like she's going to be hanging up her shoes tonight. Her last performance is going to be at the ABT Theater, which is the American Ballerina Theater in New York. And as I'm recording this, she probably on stage right now. For those who are not familiar with who Misty Copeland is, she's an African American ballerina who broke the door. She kicked the door down to become one of the lead, right? The lead, as of right now, until she retired, lead ballerinas as an African American representation, right? So we definitely want to give her flowers. She been in the game. She redefined what it meant to be a ballerina, what a ballerina looked like, right? Because we're talking about a community being the performing arts, specifically ballerinas and dance. For so long, it was very secluded. It had no representation of African American people until probably the late 60s, late 70s. There were no principal dancers. That's another achievement she had. 2015, Misty Copeland was promoted to a principal dancer, which means one of the main dancers, one of the lead dancers in a major performances, right? So we definitely love that. She was promoted in 2015, becoming the first Black woman in ABT's 75-year history to be named the principal dancer. So her retirement is coming 10 years after that. And to put things into perspective, there hasn't been another African American principal dancer since 2015, since she was named and given said title. These are the type of role models that we need to be promoting on a larger scale, and she is a household name. I feel like it's a pretty niche field, so you kind of gotta know to know. But let's just take a look at some of her notable achievements, right? Again, 2015, she was promoted to principal dancer, being the first African American woman to receive that title in the 75 years of the ABT American Ballerina Theater. The whole history, since they've been a thing. Some of her most iconic roles was she led lead roles Swan Lake, Firebird, and the Nutcracker. So she had lead roles in all three of these iconic plays. I'm pretty much sure a lot of you probably heard of the Nutcracker. In 2021, she founded the Misty Copeland Foundation to promote dance, art, this artistic culture, this dance culture, this ballerina culture. She created this foundation to promote this idea in underprivileged neighborhoods for brown and browner people. So yeah, I mean, again, this is the type of role models we would love to promote. Being though a lot of our individuals in this community gets labeled and is a representation for all of us, and we know that the ratchetness that you see on social media, on TV, in these movies are not all of us, right? So we definitely want to give a shout out to Misty Copeland. Congratulations on being an international pioneer. And I really hope that your mark is left, and that, a lot of these young ladies, look to aspire to do some of the things that you've done. So we definitely want to give, again, Misty Copeland her flowers. Congratulations on your long career. Definitely want to give her flowers. Bad Bunny is still looking to perform at the Super Bowl. Me personally, I'm looking forward to it. Do I care if any of his music is in English? No, I don't. No, I don't. Because when I think about a party and I think about the music that he makes, I know it's just going to get the party popping. I know it's going to get the party popping. But we got some people that disagree. So we got this group. They go by the name of Car Shell. Looks like they were out on a mission, like they trying to replace Bad Bunny with George Strait. That was one of the names that I saw. I don't know if there's more people, but we're gonna stick to George Strait. No disrespect to the country fans. He is labeled as the king of country. I don't listen to country music, so I couldn't tell you. No disrespect to the country music fans. No disrespect to George Strait. But when I think about a halftime show at the Super Bowl, I'm trying to party. Now, Car Shell, they went out and created this petition to replace Bad Bunnies. And as of today, it surpassed 60,000 names. Yeah, that's a crazy joint. And I really, outside of the fact that y'all probably can't understand his songs, right? Because they in Spanish. I'm really intrigued to know what that reason behind that was. I can't help but think him being Hispanic, and like they said, Bad Bunny's performances is not a representation of the American culture. George Strait, he has all the embodiments of what America is, and this is why we need him to perform. I just can't see it. I can't see it. Maybe I need to take some time and listen to a couple of his songs. Now, I'm not saying he's a bad artist. I'm not saying he's not good at what he do. He been in the game, they said, 4 decades. He got to be good at something. But a halftime show, country music? Y'all let me know in the comments who y'all would prefer. Would y'all prefer a Bad Bunny halftime show or a George Strait halftime show? Even the people that's hating on Bad Bunny, they still gonna tune into that shit. They still gonna watch it and be like, oh, not too bad. So good luck with that, right? Car Shell, count your days. American culture today is a mixture of a bunch of people. That's what y'all got to get used to. It ain't that how it used to be back in the day. We ain't going is We going forward, not backwards. I don't know if it's political. I'm not political, and I don't really be getting into all the political cool nonsense. So yeah, I don't know. But let's take a look. So I got the Billboard history up. And we're gonna take a look at the history from both artists here. We just gonna take a look. We got George Strait. We got George Strait up here. Hold on, let me make this a little bigger. So we got George Strait up, and then we got Bad Bunny, and we're gonna do some comparisons, right? We're just gonna take a look because I am not familiar with George Strait. Again, I don't listen to country music, but I do know that legend has it that he is a legend. So we about to find out. All right. So first, I think this might be one of the most important categories in terms of like Billboard records. We look at Billboard 100s. Okay. George Strait, right? Let me show y'all real quick. George Strait. This is George Strait's page for Billboard 100s. 37 songs, no number one hits, no top 10s. Cool. So we go over to Bad Bunny. He got 113 songs on a Billboard 100. He has 15 top 10s, and then he has one number one hit. If I'm an executive and I'm looking at this alone, there's no contest. Because I'm trying to make money, and I'm trying to put on a show, like a performing show, right? Not taking away nothing from George Strait. So Bad Bunny, that's 1 point to Bad Bunny. 1 point goes to Bad Bunny. So, we'll move on. We'll take a look at Billboard 200. Why not? Billboard 200. Okay, Bad Bunny has 4 number one hits, 9 titles, with 7 top 10 hits. It's not bad, right? Take a look at George Strait. We're going to go to his Billboard 200. 5 number one hits. Okay, we charting now. He got 45 titles, 21 top 10. So we looking at the Billboard 200 charts. 9 titles, 7 top 10s, 45 titles, 21 top 10s. He does have more number one hits. I want to say this one is a draw. This is about equal. When you look at the comparisons here, it's like, okay, it's half, kind of like half. Then you go over here. It's not as many titles, right? But in the comparison to like his non-total titles, he has 7. I'm gonna call that even. I don't know. I'm gonna call that even. Right. All right. So George Strait is on the board. He's on the board with this one. What's another? Oh, top album sales. Let's go to top album sales. Top album sales. Bad Bunny had 9 songs on the top album sales charts. Right? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're not about to pull up that whole thing. But he had 9 songs. He had 10 hits with 1 number one hit. Right? Go over to George Strait. You scroll down. Top album sales. $36 songs. 22 top 10s with 5 number ones. Hold up. Wait a minute. Now, let's put some respect on George Strait name. Put some putting respect on George Strait name right now. Do I think he'll give a good concert? Possibly, but I don't know, man. I don't know. When it comes to the halftime show, I think like it's supposed to be popping. You supposed to have like motherfuckers swinging from the rafters and stream, blow horns and all type of shit going on with Bad Bunny. You can't do all that with George Strait. You got a band. You got a couple guitars. You got some dancers waving around the American flag tops. Couple volunteers running around doing some extra stuff. I just don't see it. But let's now look. Top country albums. I'm already knowing. I already knew just by the way people was talking about them. This is going to be George Strait's strongest category right here. 27 number ones, 52 songs in total with 42 top 10 hits. I respect that. I do. I really do. Now let's see. He better not have no. Let me see his album. Okay, now. George Strait was the country. Bad Bunny is the Latin. Top Latin albums. He got 9 songs, 9 top 10 hits, and they all number one. They all was number one. So that basically every time he dropped one of them Jones, they went number one. I don't know. I just wanted to pull this information up so you can formulate your own opinions. I'll formulate mine because I'm rocking with Bad Bunny. Halftime show, Bad Bunny. I don't need to sing along. I'm just trying to dance. I don't need to sing along. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Would y'all want to see a Bad Bunny halftime show or a George Strait halftime show? Simple as that. Y'all let me know. Next up, we got the heist of the century. Yeah, we got the heist of the century. One of the most famous museums, the Louvre, was robbed a couple days ago. 4 masked men pulled up in a vehicle with a little lift on it. Motherfuckers ascended to the second floor balcony of the building, popped in, got rid of the guards, got them right up out of there with chainsaws. Apparently they just scared them off and they ran. They got inside, and then they got off with some crazy ass iced out bust down jewelry. But this is the home of the Mona Lisa. Just to give you an example, the Mona Lisa is in this museum. Yeah, it's still under investigation, but let's just take a look at some of the things that they stole. Right, according to BBC, France's Ministry of Culture said that the stolen items were tiara and a brooch. Is it brooch or brooch? I think it's brooch, belonging to Empress Eugenie. Empress Eugenie, wife of Napoleon III, an emerald necklace, and a pair of emerald earrings from Empress Marie Louise, a tiara, necklace, and single earring from the sapphire set that belonged to Queen Marie Amelie and Queen Hortense, known as the reliquary brooch. Between them, these pieces are adorned with thousands of diamonds and other precious gemstones. Empress Eugenie's crown was found damaged on the escape route, investigators said, apparently having been dropped during the escape. So they lost some stuff. Damn, I wonder. So they just tried to, grab what they could. And they dropped the crown. All in all, they said that shit took them like 8 minutes. From the time they got in there at 9:30, they was out of there by 9:38. I don't know about no inside job, but I could tell you this: they was professionals. They planned it out. They cased the joint and they planned it out and they executed and this is where we at. Yeah, this is where we at. So I don't know. I'm gonna be looking out. I'm gonna be looking out and see where that goes and you know how that turns out. OpenAI, the creators of ChatGPT, now has a new browser called Atlas, and one of their slogans are rethink what a browser can be about. Now, me personally, I'm not opposed to AI. I do understand there are ethical ways to use AI, right? Human nature is fucking ignorant. So there are going to be people that want to take AI and try to use it for harmful reasons. We don't condone that. So I'm not opposed to this idea of a new browser, you know, that could be potentially used. I'm more concerned about how people will start to use these programs. Really, that's really what it's about for me. I definitely use ChatGPT. Be playing around with Sora every now and again. Man, who am I kidding? Sora low key got me in a chokehold. I ain't even gonna hold you creating little videos and stuff like that. But I play around with it. It's all for fun and games now, right? Until it ain't. And I hope it never comes to that, man. I hope it never comes to that. We need to get some kind of rules and regulations for this thing because we're in it. We're in the digital age of information. Artificial intelligence is here. It's not going nowhere. It's only going to get more advanced. So yeah, y'all need to get a hold of this shit right now before it gets out of control. Homeland Security, ICE, in them, they pulled up on Canal Street. Yo, they really did. ICE pulled up on Canal Street to do a raid.
They don't even got badges, yo.
Let me see. Let me take a look at my notes because I wrote down what they called the actual raid. So the actual raid, the Department of Homeland Security conducted a targeted intelligence driven enforcement operation on Canal Street. That's the whole title right there. We call it a raid, but I feel like, you know, they got to be careful with the wording that they put on these documents, right? Because this has to be submitted to someone above them. So if you don't know, if you're not familiar with Canal Street is the capital of counterfeit in the United States, in my opinion, right? Because I don't know, I'm an East Coast guy. I don't know no other places where that's like Canal Street in New York. If you from the East Coast, 9 times out of 10, you are familiar with Canal Street. 9 times out of the 10, a lot of these women that be turning you niggas down, that be saying y'all ain't got enough money, that be saying, "Oh, I need a bag. Oh, I need this. I need you to buy me that. I need it to be Lululemon and boom, boom, boom." They go to Canal Street to get it too. They are not exempt, and they will lead you to believe that this shit is real when 100% it's not. So yeah, ICE pulled up, man. It turned into a lot of chaos, a lot of protests in Chinatown, right? Because this is where Canal Street is located, is in Chinatown. A lot of people was protesting. They wasn't going for it. They wasn't trying to hear that because that's how they make their money. And who knows what they who knows how much money they stopped from being made. I'm telling you, Canal Street. I don't know the hours. I don't know the hours. I don't know the hours. But that joint be booming. It's booming. If you know about Canal Street, you know. They shut that shit down. Canal Street hot right now. You hear me? I fuck around and drive out there right now, and they got the stands right back out there. And this is just my opinion. This is just what I think. They probably right back out there because it's just like the plug. It's just like the plug. When the plug go to jail, the next day you probably give it a couple days. Give it a couple days for everybody to gather their faculties. So we say give it 3 to 4 days. It's gonna be a new stand out there selling the same shit. Hey, make your money, folk. I ain't mad at you. Get your bread. Get your bread. Like, but just know they coming. Just know they are coming. And when they do, you better get low. All right, squad. That's been this episode of These Days in History. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below, man, about any other topics that I discussed today. If y'all have any opinions or something that y'all never heard or something that y'all did hear when y'all was discussing it with y'all folks, y'all let me know in the comments below. If you made it this far, you haven't hit that like button, you go ahead and tap that like button for the kid. You hear me? Until next time, squad. Peace.